This situation keeps getting stranger as the back half of this Raptors season has certainly been perplexing, as a lot of Toronto Raptors fans are confused about whether or not the team is winning, whether or not the team is losing. What's going on with this squad? Heck, we even have Jakob Poeltl shooting threes here now at this point, which we have more of an update on and something I'm excited about. But even with some of the hits that we've taken to that mission to capture the flag at the end of the season, there have been some huge developments, some huge positives to really look at in the back half of the season, which we're going to sink our teeth into in this vid. And because again, it's not very clear in terms of what's going on when you look at the record, when you look at everything that's happening, but there are still some exciting things happening with this Raptors group, even if the product on the basketball court has been a bit messy. So lots of stuff to break down here in this video, but folks, you guys have been crushing it, hitting that subscribe button as of late, so make sure you guys hit that sub button if you don't want to miss a single thing that's going on with this Toronto Raptors team, because of course, we're going to break down all the interesting stories, everything that's happened with the squad, even during the good times and the bad. So lots of stuff to discuss, but let's dive into it, because last night the Toronto Raptors lost to the Phoenix Suns in what was clearly a massive taking performance. They lost that game 89-129. So just the box score, it is clear. It was ugly. We got cooked by Devin Booker. We got cooked by really anyone. I was out there on that Phoenix Suns team. It was a mess for this Raptor squad. There wasn't a lot of things to really get excited about, especially in a game where both Immanuel Quickley and Scottie Barnes played over 30 minutes in this one. So that was not great to see. The two top guys that are on the roster there in this game did not look that into it. But the Suns have been desperate. They're trying to make a push, and they have just been horrible as of late. So it makes sense as to why the Raptors did come out and get lost by this margin, but it sucks to see the team, losing by this margin when you do have Scottie Barnes playing. And then, of course, his buddy Jonathan Mobo back in the starting unit did not have the greatest game himself. 2 points, 1 of 7 shooting. Did have 6 rebounds, which is positive. I mean, a couple assists. It is what it is, but there are way more interesting developments than just what happened in this game. As we did get a quote from Darko Rajaković, which I do want to bring up first, as because a couple games ago, Jakob Poeltl did not play last night, but Jakob Poeltl came out and said, Darko Rajaković came out and said about Jakob Poeltl, and he has been working on that shot quite a bit, and it's something that we're seeing in the making, and he's been making those shots in practice, and we just wanted to take a good look at it, and I'm really glad that he made that shot. I probably need to run more plays for him. So this does seem like something, because in the last video, this is why I wanted to address this first, of course, brought the game, but people were saying, that's Jakob Poeltl. Is he going to shoot? This is something that's being added to his repertoire. It's something that's being added to his game. Of course, Yak isn't known for being a three-point shooter. He's shooting 33% of the season here right now, but, not because of a high volume of three-point shots by any means, but, Jakob Poeltl this season, 14 points, 10 rebounds. If he could add, floor spacing big man to his arsenal, to his, game, to his bag, that is going to be game-changing for this Raptor squad. So we had a little bit of a development there, and in regards to the past few games, not just the last game against the Phoenix Suns, there are a couple players that are certainly impressing a lot of people. And I'll bring that up now because one name that does have to be discussed, that does have to be brought up, is Orlando Robinson. As this man, as of late, is proving to a lot of Raptors fans that he should be on this team, moving forward. Over his past 5 games, Orlando Robinson for this team, he's been starting a ton of these guys. He's been in the lineup, starting to get some minutes, but basically averaging 50. I started one game. Let's not get crazy, start a bunch of games. But in the past 5 games, he's come out and he is averaging 15 points per game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists out there from the field. Only 3 fouls, but that is pretty solid. I mean, for a guy that's put out there, getting some minutes, getting some, extra run. He's getting about 28 minutes per game over the last stretch. That is some pretty efficient, pretty solid numbers for a big man. Again, for a guy that's not going to be expected to be even like a backup probably next. Definitely not a starter for sure. But the way he's playing, I don't know if I'd be super comfortable him being the 1A backup going into next year, but he's young, he's developing, and over the last stretch of games, he's been showing some serious signs that he should be a guy that's on this roster longer term, especially if he's going to be cheap, if he's not going to be, someone that is commanding, tens of millions of dollars or anything like that. Orlando Robinson as your third string center is a legit guy, a legit dude to have your roster, especially when the big men are, of course, always injured. They're the position that you always see players in and out of the lineup for. Orlando Robinson playing at this level is definitely a positive to really look at. So that's been huge. That's been a nice thing to sort of witness. But another guy that I do want to bring up is Jameson Battle, as he is a guy getting more run, getting more minutes. And of course, last day I'll show the stats because Orlando Robinson had 12 points and 8 rebounds in last night's game against the Phoenix Suns. But Jameson Battle got the start and went 4-12 from the 3-point line, 14 points. He is still showing that he is a very, very effective shooter, but there has been one development that does have to be brought up. As Josh Lumberg pointed out, that Battle's 3-point attempts in 4 starts have been 12 3-point attempts, 6 3-point attempts, 5 and 12, and counting. And just 24 minutes of action last night. His efficiency has gone down to 31% with the increased volume of shooting. He was shooting 43% on 3.3 attempts as a substitute for this game. But the Raptors will live with that. Nice to see him aggressive and on the hunt and getting good and getting more good looks. So Jameson Battle, while he's been, one of the best 3-point shooters percentage-wise on a smaller volume, when he's been asked to do more things out there on the basketball court, those percentages have come down. So this is why you want, maybe not want the all this at the end of the season, but when you're put in the position the Toronto Raptors are in right now, where you see, hey, these younger guys getting expanded roles, expanded minutes, you see what they can do, extrapolate it, because you see a Jameson Battle, again, he's still knocking down threes at a pretty solid clip, but the efficiency goes down dramatically when you're shooting them at a higher volume. And it's something he's got to get used to, something that'll get him in the gym, training, and all of these types of things. And this is great for his development, and it's great for Masai, Ujiri, Bobby Webster's kind of evaluations on these young guys that are out here in the roster. So that is a very interesting development there. But of course, the thing that everyone has their eyes on, everyone's been looking at, is the lottery, projections. What's the likelihood we get a draft pick? And I know that was an ugly loss to the Phoenix Suns, but it did have serious implications on the Raptors' ability to stay ahead of some of the teams that are overtly tanking bad here now at this point, as the Spurs, the Heat, and the Chicago Bulls, and the Portland Trailblazers are all teams that realistically, it would be tough, but if the Raptors keep winning and these teams lose some games, could realistically catch the Toronto Raptors in those Cooper Flag odds sweepstakes. And the Brooklyn Nets, they ended up winning a game yesterday. The Raptors lost too. We have an expected loss against the Warriors coming up, but it's that loss and an expected one to the Golden State Warriors definitely adds some cushioning, adds some needed space between the Raptors and these other teams, because looking at it, there are some teams taken. The Mavericks are a team we do have to factor in now as well, as they might be having to throw games, like in terms of just sitting out. Like the games might be canceled because they can't field a full roster and they're not eligible to sign any other players. So that is a situation which is pretty crazy to kind of see if games are getting vetoed there for the Dallas Mavericks. But I digress on that point. That's just getting to a crazy situation. I don't think they'll be able to catch us. But if the Raptors continue to win, it's nice because our schedule is super easy. We have the Warriors, and then basically it is all tanking teams there and out, right? The Spurs, they just sat De'Aaron Fox for the entire season. He had a hand surgery, of course. Victor Wembanyama has been out of the mix. I mean, the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA. The Charlotte Hornets are a complete mess. The Brooklyn Nets are a squad that's right in the mix, so they're going to be trying to take our games as well. I guess the Pistons are the only team that should be, not looking to lose that game. So it's a weird position for the Toronto Raptors to be in. It's a pretty, it's just a strange feeling as a Raptors fan to be watching this team, rooting for them to lose. And it just sucks, but we do have some positive developments, which is nice. It's a positive thing to look at. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys are the best making this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Apologize for my voice. I've been sick as a dog, but we keep the videos rolling. We keep you up to date as things are rocking and rolling here, but you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.